Hello everyone, welcome back to Freedom Homestead, and I'm Jack.
And I'm Tangie.
And it's good to have you with us this evening. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to join us, but while we're waiting, if you will say hi to us in the chat, let us know maybe where you're from. We always appreciate that, and I guess with everybody being kind of isolated and stuck at home, this is our our Monday nights are our way to kind of connect with everyone and chat with you and kind of feel a part of the homestead community. So we always enjoy doing this.
Yep. And I can also show off my farmer's tan.
Yeah, we'll talk about what we've been doing this week. We've got a lot done this week as far as gardening and preparing the garden, and
we are going to grow big.
We're trying.
We're gonna grow big.
We're trying to grow as big as we can.
Deborah said she's listening to us as she cleans.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, Northwest Georgia. I'm from Northeast Georgia originally.
Yeah.
Hello, Lori and Diane and Henry's Honey and Lisa. Glad everybody's here. Hey, Dawn. So before we came on, while I was fixing dinner, I was listening to Sutton's Days live chat. And that was an awesome chat. I would highly recommend you guys go back and watch the replay if you missed it live. Well, there's Art of Creation. Art of Creation has just started loading videos to their channel. And I have to say they've got a great video on planting apple trees in containers. So they have they're going to have a lot of just good information if you're learning how to garden and things like that. So definitely check out Art of Creation Homestead.
Well, speaking of apple trees, I have a quick question I'm going to throw out to everyone. If you have apple trees, when is the time to spray them, and what do you use to spray? I'm sure maybe a few of you may know the answer to that.
Hey, Jeff.
Honestly, I don't. Our neighbors, they have some apple trees, and they have, we've been talking with them, and they're willing to share all the apples with us. And I told him that, I went over and pruned the trees for him. I told him I would kind of investigate what we need for the trees. So if anybody has an answer to that, please let us know.
Yep. So we're all about the organic gardening. So anything...
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, if there's a good organic spray that we can use, but I really don't know when to spray either. Do you wait for the apples to start, showing themselves, or do you do it now while they're blooming? They're all flowering out right now. So they're starting to flower, and the leaves are coming out on them right now. They look beautiful.
It looks great. Yeah. So hopefully there'll be a great harvest this year. Yeah. But let's see, we have Jeff from Homestead Dad in the house. We also have Jennifer at Serenity Hill Farm. She said we keep ours smaller and use neem oil on them. Start spraying it when the beetles start. So that's a good tip.
Neem oil?
I had neem oil when we lived at our other house, but we had dwarf apple trees. And it seemed to do pretty good. Oh, there's VW Family Farm. Hey, guys. Hey, Green Gables and Laura. There's so many
Laura says,
people.
check the Rusted Gardener. He has great advice. Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Let's see. And Jeff at Homestead Dad is going to be on Sutton's Days on Wednesday night. So if you are not subscribed to Homestead Dad or Sutton's Days, I would highly recommend that.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
Let's see, Going Green Mom. Hey, Two Wild Onions. Captain Jack is a great product. Oh, you're not talking about him. You're talking about an actual product. Okay.
Hey, I can remember that. I can remember that. Captain Jack.
Yeah, hey,
and that's
Aaron.
A spray, I guess, to spray apple trees?
Yeah.
So neem oil and Captain Jack.
Captain Jack.
And I'm assuming you could get those at like Tractor Supply or Lowe's or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yes, people are noticing my tan. I'm actually really proud of this tan, I have to say.
Yeah.
I was, of course,
I don't know if I've got one or not.
Of course, it's Monday, and so for work, I was catching up on a lot of emails, and I was asking everybody, did you have a good weekend? I hope you took full advantage of the beautiful weather. And I said, I have a little bit of a sunburn, and I ain't even mad. I love it.
Henry's Honey says Ace Hardware has both of those, so I'll have to check those out. Cool, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being so good at knowing what I need.
Okay, I have a question.
Captain Jack at a nursery.
I was actually thinking about this today. Okay, so I don't know a whole lot about 18th century food preservation, right? So I was thinking, what did they do before there were canning jars? So if we, if this situation that the world is in right now were to continue, and it would be very difficult to get new canning lids, what does a girl do? What does a girl do? I know we have dehydrating. I know we have fermenting.
Looking for something.
Okay.
I think it's over here.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Anybody else think about that? Oh, yeah.
I just saw a comment.
Oh, good.
Loved watching your carrot planting ideas. Where did you get your measuring stick from? This? Are we talking about this thing right here?
That is a garden dibble, and that was from Nathan Sampson at Sampson Farm. And in that video, in the description box, I link his store where he sells those.
Okay. So if you watch our last video where she's planting, go down in the description and you'll find out where the guy that made this, Nathan, he's a veteran, super nice guy. We got to meet him. We met him. Did we meet him twice? He was at the old-fashioned picnic.
At the old-fashioned picnic and at
Stivers.
The gathering.
At the gathering at the Stivers. Harvest celebration. Yeah, we have to look at our coasters to remember that.
Yes. Hey, there's Kathy at North Star Prepstetter, and she is amazing. So she is sharing the
Yes, Nathan is awesome.
He is awesome, and he has a lot of other things in his store. He's also a veteran, so if you want to support a fellow homesteader and veteran, and plus, I mean, obviously his craftsmanship is top notch. So definitely check them out.
Yeah, they're called dibbles, and he hand makes those. He's really good. Good craftsman.
Yeah.
Great woodworker.
So
people are answering your questions too.
Some are saying wax, using wax. Aaron said, I know back in the day that my great-grandmother used reusable canning lids. I do remember on seeing what is it called? The World War II Kitchen and Garden series that she used. It looked like sort of like a glass disc. Like she heated it up and then set this glass disc on it, and then it had a lever thing on there.
Yeah, they did. They smoked a lot of meat to preserve it. Does Nathan ship to Canada?
No idea.
Yeah, go to his link. Kathy has posted his link. Thank you so much, Kathy. North Star Prepstetter has posted the link. So just send Nathan a message and ask him if he's still making them, if he'll ship them to you. So hopefully he will.
Man, Kathy, you are the bomb. She's got the Wartime Kitchen and Garden YouTube video. That is an excellent, excellent series to watch while you're in quarantine.
It is good.
It is really, really good. Well, there's 1870s Homestead.
Well,
I was actually talking to Rachel today.
Yeah, we miss all of you guys. We were saying that this is, we love our Monday Night Lives because we get to, being isolated, we get to connect with everybody, even if it's just through the internet chatting with you guys. So at least this helps. This helps us socialize a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of socialization, I have to share this little nugget with y'all. It's kind of funny. So, we homeschool our kids, and our daughter, she works with, some young adults that are her age. And she said one of them made the comment the other day. She was like, gosh, Emily has so many friends. She's got more friends than we do, and we're public schooled. I just thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, let's see. Have we tried drying beans? I haven't. But now, I went to the first Appalachian Homestead conference, and she did have a guy there that was showing some of the 18th century preservation, and he was showing drying and things like that. And he was showing how to do the leather breeches where you string green beans and dry them out. But I've never done that like in practice, just saw it there. But that was pretty cool. He had like a canvas stretched over a frame, and he had apple slices laying out on it near a fire. It was
Going Green Mom.
Uh-huh.
The bell jars, those old bell jars with the rubber gaskets. I remember my mom using those all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I remember the rubber gasket
Bye, Jeff.
lids. And that's probably what her parents used, what my grandparents used.
True.
Because that seemed kind of like that was the thing.
Yeah.
That I remember seeing.
So everybody's saying drying, fermenting, eating in season,
Smoking.
cold storage like a root cellar.
Yeah, that too.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, they all had back then. Of course, my grandparents, great grandparents, they would all have like a dugout cellar to store stuff in, and I want to say they even stored some stuff in their attic as well, but maybe not.
No, because
That
it would
would
get
be
really
hot.
hot up there.
Yeah, so I guess it was the cellar.
Yeah.
And I know they had the smokehouse as well.
Yes, they did have a smokehouse.
They had a smokehouse.
Salt preserving for meats. Yeah, that was one thing that was really
Yeah.
cool hearing your dad talk about was, and if you don't know what we're talking about, a couple of months ago, Jackie posted a video where he's interviewed his parents.
I interviewed my parents, and they just, we were having dinner. They were over
They were
having
here for
dinner.
Parker's birthday.
Obviously, yeah. So this was back before Christmas. Go back and watch the video. So it's going to be probably right between Thanksgiving and Christmas when that was posted.
Yeah.
And hearing some of his stories about, the smokehouse and butchering the hog and putting it in the salt and just the way he was raised back then and taking care of the cows. And I loved his story the first time they bought an electric fence and how it just freaked out the mule and yeah, just it was good to hear those stories, but it was also really great because it was my parents. It's part of my family's history, so it was great to get that on film and preserved a little bit.
Yeah, that's neat. Yes, Allison, when she is over there playing right now, but if she makes her
Ruger.
way over here, I'll grab her.
Ruger.
Let's see.
She's chewing on a tennis ball.
Big W Family Farm said we put our sweet potatoes in a cool building with no sunlight and lost over 400 pounds of them. That is sad. Oh, I would be so devastated. See, a lot of people had spring houses, so they stored food there because it was cool. We actually, when I was a kid, we lived in a house for a little while that had a spring house. That was so cool. They had the spring house, and there was like a little section that they had dammed up, I guess, to put stuff down in. And there was a gourd dipper hanging on the side of the spring house to get cold water out.
That's what I remember in my grandma's attic.
What?
Herbs tied to the rafters. They would take them up there and they would dry out.
Huh.
And they may have also had peppers or something. But I remember stuff up there. Yeah.
Mary at Sunny Blue Homestead said, I heard from Jill at the Prairie Homestead there are 2 different kinds of meat preserving salts, learning about those now. Yeah, I would imagine that there would be something different. Hey, Charlie. Let's see. My mom dried apples in my brother's car while he was away. His car smelled wonderful for a long time. That's really neat.
The Macs are with us. Yep.
Yes.
It's so humid here, we can do the root cellars.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Many, many years ago, they used cork stoppers on clay jars with hot food, and it would draw a vacuum as it cooled. That is cool. Hey, Heaven's Gates. Preserve your fresh basil in jars of salt when you have basil salts. Oh, and then you can use basil. Basil is my absolute favorite herb. I may have said that a million times, but yes, I love it.
So talk about. Of course, we have a video, a little bit about what we did this week. But do you want to talk about other things, the whole deal, or what wasn't shown on the video?
I think I showed everything.
You showed everything?
I think so. So yeah, I started more seeds. I started my candy striped zinnias and my peppercini peppers. Very excited about that.
Peppercinis.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a new one that we're growing this year that we haven't grown in the past.
So I am growing peppercini peppers, banana peppers, jalapeno peppers,
Always jalapenos.
and bell peppers.
Yeah.
Those are that's what we eat like weekly.
We're gonna have part of our raised bed as a hot pepper bed, and then in another spot, not in the same raised bed, but in another spot, we're gonna have the non-hot peppers, right?
Well,
Isn't that what you were talking about the other day?
Yeah, but I'm thinking, I don't know, the sweet peppers might have to go in the earth garden. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But
the hot peppers will all go together in one.
Yes.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Have you guys heard to keep your hot peppers and your sweet peppers separate because of cross-pollination? I actually read this week that is a myth.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't feel like it is because I
don't feel like it is because I've had sweet peppers turn out really hot that were next to jalapenos.
See, I feel like I have too. But I don't know. Well, there's Cliff. I got to talk to Cliff. Hear his voice.
Who? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Jump Off A. Whenever I was over
I don't
on...
even see him on here.
He's right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So whenever I went to... on Sutton's Days, I tuned in while I was cooking dinner, and apparently they had just been talking about our cattle panel trellis. And so they were like, yeah, hop on. So I was like, I get to talk to
Somebody
Cliff.
says you only have to worry about it if you're saving seeds.
Oh. See, they can cross-pollinate.
It doesn't happen that year, but it does happen if you save the seeds and replant. I didn't know that. We've had that happen, but I don't remember saving seeds and doing that.
No. I do want to get more
I think
into
it has happened with us.
I feel like it has.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to sound ignorant either. But I do want to save seeds, though. Saving seeds is something that I have done, but I wouldn't consider myself an expert at it. And so for me, it is so exciting to save seeds one year and then they germinate the next year. So my marigolds that I saved last year have germinated. My zinnia seeds have germinated. What else did I have some cantaloupe seeds. I have some cantaloupe seeds that I saved a couple of years ago that I would like to try to grow. They're the Athena cantaloupe. They're huge, and it was the best cantaloupe I had ever had. And I was like, I am saving these seeds. And I have them, but I've never grown them. So I would like to get more into that.
Supposedly you have to have them over 50 feet apart to save the seeds. I didn't know that, but that's a neat little tip.
Well,
if we've got some in the earth garden and some in the raised beds, they'll definitely be 50 feet apart.
yeah.
They'll well cover that.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Ruger needs to go out.
Yeah. I don't know where all the kids are.
I don't know.
I can do it.
Okay.
You chat. You continue.
Oh, chit chat. So let's see, what else were we talking about? And on the I don't know if Rachel is watching still from 1870s Homestead, but what's funny is we took a picture and Jack posted on our Facebook page that we were going to use our cattle panel trellis to trellis cucumbers. And then Rachel from 1870s Homestead commented on the picture, my cucumber vines only have ever gotten up to 4 feet tall. And then I got to thinking about it. You know, my cucumber vines have only gotten up to 4 feet tall. And I was like, I don't want to waste that space. So I decided to plant black coat runner beans. And so we're gonna give that a try. If anything, I think it's gonna be pretty because the vines do get very long and they've got the beautiful blossoms on them. Hopefully we like the beans. Of course, you guys know we eat a lot of green beans around here. So, hey Pathways, read Henry's post. All right, let me scroll back up. Scrolling, that they won't affect the current year's crop. It's just if you save seeds for the next year. And my gardener had a video about it. Okay, I will check out his video. He does, I really enjoy some of his, like myth busting videos. Let's see, are they temperamental? The cantaloupe, I've tried a few times, but I've never gotten fruit. Do you know the best cantaloupe we have ever grown were volunteers? I mean, they just popped up out of the garden and we did absolutely nothing to them except harvest them and eat them. Let's see, Luke says it doesn't affect this year's crop, only for seed saving. Gotcha. Oh, hey Gita, let's see, how are you guys doing? I pray all is well. We are all doing good. Hopefully you and yours are also doing well. Let's see, hope all are safe and well. Yes, how are all of you, and are you and your loved ones staying healthy? We are all doing here. All of our loved ones are fine as of the moment. Let's see. Just had green beans for supper, butter, salt, and a dash of garlic powder. Yum, yum. If you love green beans, then you have to try North Carolina long greasy beans. Absolutely best tasting. I've definitely not had those that I'm aware of. A few pounds, let's see. Same with us with watermelon. When we tried, they weren't good. Volunteers the next year were amazing, right? Well, hey, Jared. Let's see, we have an okra that we got from my grandpa, been planting and saving seed for 20 years. That is so cool. Jealous you were out planting, Tangy. I'm going to plant lettuce, but otherwise I have to wait for another few weeks.
We've actually had a whole week with no rain.
Oh my goodness, it's so exciting.
Which is the first week this year that's happened.
Yeah.
And now we still have some water areas that's kind of still swampy. They're still drying out. But that's been great. I actually mowed the yard today.
Yeah.
And I've been dealing with the allergy, the sinus headache all day long.
Yeah, we've had to, well, I know me and you and Parker, we've all had to get on our
We've been taking
allergy medicine regimen. Yeah.
And so because of the good weather we've had here, because we've both been home, because I'm having to work from home right now, we've been able to do a lot of gardening.
Yes.
And get all that,
Thankfully.
We still have a lot more to do though.
Yes, still have a lot of work to do. We haven't planted anything in the earth garden yet. But I feel like every time I go out there, though, our plans change every time.
It's funny. I'll be walking through the house like, Tangy, where's she at? I can't find her. I'll go out back and she's just standing there at the garden just looking at it. I'm just like,
yeah, what are you doing?
What's going on? And she's like, I'm just thinking.
Goodness.
So it's funny.
Kids. Yeah. So I'm watching right now as where the sun is going, how the shade is landing on the garden. Sorry, the dogs. That's Ruger.
It's like two little kids.
Here's what happens. Ruger gets a toy. Georgia takes it away from her. And then she won't let Ruger have it.
and then they go at it.
And then they go at it. That is what they're doing.
It's hilarious.
So I'm just watching how the sun falls on it, and then in my brain thinking, okay, this is what I know we're going to be planting. Now I got to figure out where to put it, what needs the most sun. Also, where the garden is, there is a slight downgrade. That's not the word. What's the word I'm looking for?
Slope.
A slope. Thank you. Word of the day, kids. Slope. Anyway, there's a slight.
It slopes down.
So I'm like, okay, so what
and it slopes down toward some large oak trees, which will shade that part of the garden for part of the day.
Yes. So thinking what can take the most water and the most shade, what needs dry. So I know the okra is going to go to the side closest to the raised beds because it's at the top of the slope and it gets the most sun. So I know the okra is going to go there. And I'm also planning on lining the field side of the garden with sunflowers to act as a windbreak.
Ruger, stop.
These kids. So yeah. But yeah, just that's what I'm doing. Just watching where the sun goes in my brain, mapping everything out. So that way, when we are able to plant, which is hopefully soon. Hopefully.
Got a bug.
Got a bug. Tis the season. That's another. What did you do?
I don't know.
Okay, here's another question for y'all. How do you cut down flies outside? Because we live right next to a farm.
Good morning from Australia.
And I
Hey,
do
man.
not think that our winter got cold enough to kill flies. And the flies here are horrible. So, do any of you... Come here, Ruger. Come here. Ruger. Come here. No, come. She ran away. But yes. How do you... do you guys have chickens, right? Hopefully the chickens will get here soon, I hope. Let's
Chickens
see.
getting rid of flies?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, we ain't got that many chickens.
We don't have any chickens.
Or we ain't gonna be able to acquire that many chickens.
Our chickens
We don't just have flies. We've got a plague of flies.
We need to tell you, okay, yes, we do have that. Our chickens will be very fat and happy on flies.
Oh, yeah.
But let me tell you guys something that is super exciting. So if you guys have been following us since last year my squash didn't get pollinated very well toward the beginning when it started setting fruit. And so my squash that I was picking, the ends were, it almost looked like blossom end right, but it wasn't. And I talked to my gardener. He said it's just a pollination issue. Well, sure enough, you know, a little while later.
Yeah, we're not lucky. We cannot keep them out of the house.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, all right.
So, pollination. Okay, and that's because they're really, even though I had flowers in the garden, we weren't getting a lot of pollinators toward the beginning of the season. But let me tell y'all, our holly bushes outside of our house, they're loaded in blossom, which they weren't last year. And I mean, it sounds like the side of our house is vibrating. Whoa.
The dogs just about took our camera down.
Yep.
They got caught up in the cord hanging down.
Yeah. So, but anyway, those bushes are vibrating because there are so many bees and wasps.
Set that up there.
It is awesome. I am so excited. Let's see, Prudence says fly tape or zapper.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We tried the fly tape and it really didn't help.
Well, we just had the one.
Yeah. We've got too many flies for just fly tape.
It's crazy, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad. But I did read that flies do not like peppermint, and so I do have peppermint essential oil, and I've been diffusing it, so hopefully...
And we did have lemongrass
that
out
can
here
not
by the
help.
door as well. Didn't
Yeah.
work. We've just got too many flies.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
I think it would work if you just had a few.
Mandy said, get yourself a salt gun. If nothing else, it just feels great to kill them with it.
Yeah.
Let's see, free-range chickens, ducks.
Yeah, I bet guineas.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, by the doors and windows. See, I must have missed the first part.
I'm about ready to separate the dogs.
They're going to get put in the corner.
Plant mint all over your garden.
I actually have mint in a pot on the back deck. So hopefully those will germinate for me. That would be awesome if I can get 40 drops of any combination of the following oils. Citronella, come here. Oops. Here we go. Yay! Allison, are you still watching? Let's see. Where'd it go? Where did the oil list go? Oh, here we
40
go.
drops of any combination of the following oils. Citronella, eucalyptus,
lemongrass, basil, peppermint, cedarwood, lavender, tea tree, rosemary. I have several of those.
Yeah. And we had to get the...
Hey, Darcy.
We had to get that spray that you spray on horses to keep the flies out. And I've been spraying our dog out here to keep flies off of him. And it will work for one day, and then you got to spray him again the next day.
Let's see, homemade fly spray, 2 cups of raw apple cider vinegar, mineral oil, wait a minute, and liquid dish soap. My goodness.
She's wound up.
She is wound up.
Like a little kid that's eating a gallon of ice cream.
She is a really funny dog. And Georgia is not in the mood.
Yeah, they're not ready to handle it.
Hey, Susan. Let's see. All right, Mimsy. Thanks for coming. Hopefully, sorry about the buffering. Has anyone used fly traps? Keep seeing ads. No. Let's see. I'm telling you, it's like dealing with children sometimes. Well, hey, Kim. Glad you're here. Thank you. That is our daughter's puppy, and she really is cute. She's just in a very playful mood right now.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's a fly trap I saw on Facebook. A lady had 3 around her horse barn, and they really drew in the flies. Yeah, I've seen, there was one I saw that is specifically for catching so you can feed it to your chickens. And now I'm trying to remember where I saw it. But anyway, it's really, really interesting. Keeping squirrels out of the garden. Yeah, that's one that we're interested to see how it goes here for us, because they didn't really get into our raised beds, because I think our raised beds are close enough to the house, plus with the dogs, that the squirrels didn't mess with it. But now that we have the earth bed or the earth garden and it's close to the trees, we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see in our earth garden what kind of critters try to get in it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we were talking about just the other day. We went out to stand and look at it. And so while we're looking at it, we're like, well, whatever we plant out here may or may not produce, depending on what types of predators are coming into the garden. And we do have a dog that stays outside all the time, and then we let the other dogs out most of the day. During the day, so maybe the dogs will help. So we'll see.
Yeah. And actually, while I was talking about companion planting earlier, and I'm trying to remember what it was that I saw. I don't remember if it was pole beans or if it was cucumbers, but one of the two, in one article that I read, it said that companion planting with whichever plant it was keeps raccoons away. I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to go back and look. But anyway, I thought that was really interesting, because everyone around here, that's what they said, is you'll have a hard time growing corn because of the raccoons. But we've not seen any raccoons.
We haven't seen any. Obviously they're all over the area. We just haven't seen any. But if we plant corn, I'm expecting to see some.
Yeah.
But our dog, our basset hound outside, he's half basset hound, half beagle. He's very territorial of his yard.
Yeah.
He does not like rabbits or squirrels. Remember the skunks, the baby skunks?
Oh, yeah.
Last year, he lets us know if something's in his space. He is a backyard alarm, so that's really beneficial. The only time he barks is if something's in our yard.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Or if the Amish are passing by.
Yeah, he does not like those horses.
Our dogs do not like, they lose their minds every time the Amish go down the road. It's funny. Let's see, I have raccoons that keep getting into my hummingbird feeder. I have to take it in every night, but they leave the garden alone. Well, that's good. My Chihuahua hates the squirrels, but she is just not quite fast enough. Yeah, that's Georgia. She'll sit here at the French doors and watch them, but she hasn't caught one yet.
No. Oh, I kind of like our squirrels, though.
Yeah.
We don't have a bunch of squirrels.
We just have...
We have basically a family of squirrels. And they're big red squirrels with a huge white... They have white faces.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. It's got to be a genetic, thing for these squirrels. But they're big fox squirrels.
Yeah.
And they're cool to watch
They
playing
are.
around. And so far, they have not done anything as a nuisance around here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just cool, and they're fun to watch.
It's the chipmunks and moles and other raccoons that I'm worried about.
Yeah. Fox squirrel. Yeah, they're really neat. And what's really funny is if Georgia does get close to getting them,
Georgia's our other dog.
you can hear the squirrel like chirping at Georgia, and it's really funny. It's like na 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 na.
Yeah. So hopefully next week we are supposed to have some storms move through the area. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, we're supposed to have some storms. But as far as I know, that's the only bad weather we're supposed to have this entire week.
Yeah.
And so that's going to give us more time to probably prep more of the garden and get some more stuff ready.
Yeah. I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll get some more things in the dirt before that happens. But yeah. I'm really excited and really hoping that we can, hey Tim, hopefully that we can grow a lot of food this year. Definitely we're at least going to be able to double what we brought in last year. So that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If worse comes to worse, I could always get a live trap and try to trap a raccoon.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'd trap my dog. I'd have to set it just outside where the dog can go.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Neighbors feed the squirrels here. They're everywhere. I have to squirrel poof. I have to squirrel proof when I direct. Yeah. Let's see. Have you seen the tower garden? You can grow 20 plants in it and no soil involved. I am now eating lettuce from mine after only 4 weeks. Small but delicious, all natural. Yes, I have seen those. Those are really cool.
Yeah, that's something we've never tried.
Gita said, question, what do you use to keep the snakes away?
We don't have a snake problem here.
No.
No. I've only seen one snake in the 2.5 years that we've been here. Again, we have dogs. Yeah, you did see one. Yes. So we've seen 2 snakes in 2 years. So
and
a snake a year.
Freaked. Oh.
But yeah, so the dog kind of take care of that.
I'm not a fan of snakes. I do not like them.
Yeah, and certain snakes are good to have.
That's what they say.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Snakes keep everything else away. They don't harm your garden. I would let them stay.
Yeah. So far, we have not seen, we have some venomous snakes in this area, but I've never seen any of those in our Homestead area. I'll put it that way.
Hey, George. Yeah, I did tell Parker, I said if we start seeing any damage from the squirrels in the garden, then it will be open squirrel season.
Yeah. And that would make our son extremely happy.
And he's a good marksman, too.
Oh, yes, he is.
And I mean, I bet squirrel that's been eating fresh organic produce would taste really good.
Yeah. Ask Ben Holler. We're not scared to take out a squirrel and eat it.
Nope.
They were with us when our son took one out, and Ben cleaned it for us, and Tangi popped it in the oven and
wrapped it in bacon.
It was good.
It was good. We didn't.
Well, it wasn't. It was okay.
I thought it was good.
You thought it was really good. I just thought it was okay. I thought it was a little tough.
Organic squirrel dumplings, squirrel stew. Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Yeah, Tim. That's what I would do too, Tim.
I don't. Snakes give me the creeps. Something awful.
So any of you that are growing stuff this year, Are you growing some stuff that you've never grown before? Do you have something that you've always wanted to grow and this is the year to try it? I mean, with everything that's going on with the virus and everything, I think people are trying to actually produce more, grow more, rely more on being more self-sufficient.
Yes.
Because if anything we've learned about this is don't depend on others for certain resources.
Yes. Well, I really want to encourage everybody to go watch Sutton's Days live stream from tonight. They were saying a lot of things that it was like, yeah.
Once
Be more
we
self-sufficient.
get through all of this, I think there's going to be a lot of people step back and reflect and change some things about their lifestyles.
Yes. Absolutely.
Obviously, part of that may be how they eat and how they prepare and what they plan for in the future. But I think a lot of people are going to change a lot of things about their lifestyle. Family time, their faith, just their views on what's important, priorities. I think there's going to be a big reset for many of those issues. And now, we did talk about this earlier too. There's always going to be those few that, as soon as this is over, a few weeks later, people are going to be right back doing the same things that they always did.
Right.
There's just people that no matter what you do to tell them, change, do this now.
Right.
They're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, though, this is a wake-up call for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well,
So we'll see, but...
Yeah. One of the things that Cliff, Jump Off A, he's one of our mods, he was on Lisa's chat. And he even said that one of his sons came up to him and said, "Dad, is this what you've been preparing for?" And we have actually kind of had a similar conversation with our kids. It's like, we're not crazy. This is what my son, this is why I tell you, stay out of the food, stay out of our emergency pantry. This is the stuff that we're saving up for.
We got 3 months of food and a week later it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
No, it's not all gone, but I can see how that can happen.
Absolutely.
People are posting stuff that they're growing.
Yes, a lot of y'all are doing that, and that's awesome.
Swiss chard, beets.
I saw broccoli.
There's some people getting chickens for the first time.
Potatoes, garlic.
Rabbits.
Yeah.
Kale, sweet potatoes.
Magnolista bacon seeds, only the best. But yeah, trying celery for the first time.
Wow.
I was catching up with that 1870s Homestead videos, and in her garden, she said she is planting a staple garden. She said these are things that we eat every single week. And so she's got a ton of carrots, doing tons of potatoes, green beans.
Somebody just put potatoes, Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, and that's one thing.
We have not done potatoes yet.
No, I want to.
Have we done Brussels sprouts?
We've tried, but
I
then
want to say we
got
did
'em.
one time. Yeah,
The frost got them before.
yeah, we did plant them one time.
It was a hard frost.
Hey, there's Bandana Grandma.
Hey, Bandana.
Good to see you on here with us.
Yep. Art
Hope
of
you're doing
Creation
well.
Homestead said you don't have to have a huge property to be more self-sustainable. Don't y'all live on, is it half an acre or a quarter acre lot? I can't remember. It seems like it's a half acre lot.
You don't. You can grow a lot and not have to own a lot of land.
Yeah.
M.I. Gardner showed us just how much he can produce in a small
In a small
area.
space.
It's doable. It's very doable.
Jared, I'm trying to think what kind of worms. Is it cabbage loopers that you're talking about? I'm trying to remember what you can plant. I think you can.
Yeah, Serenity Hill's talking about making potato
I'll
towers.
have to look. Yes. Let's see, making potato towers. Found a local farmer who sold me 100 pounds of potatoes for $10.
That's
What?
cool.
Some are
That
seed
is
potatoes and some are food storage. That is amazing.
That's awesome.
Got a cloth over cabbages this year. Yes, instead of the white flies. Let's see. I just have my small backyard. Have done all my gardening in containers. Oh, and that reminds me. For container gardening, one of my absolute favorite channels that I cannot recommend enough, and Darcy, I meant to tell you this before I forget, is Hollis and Nancy's Homestead. They have very comprehensive step-by-step videos that are just phenomenal on how to container garden. I absolutely adore them.
Mandy said she grew 100 pounds of tomatoes in grow bags.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. And a 10-inch garden bed.
10 foot.
10-foot garden bed.
Yeah,
And
that
she's
is
in a townhouse. She's in a townhouse, folks, and she grew 100 pounds of tomatoes. So yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
And that's very encouraging to others. Believe it or not, people that hear that, they think, well, I don't live out in the country. I don't have a lot of land. It can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can be done.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of what we call urban homesteaders.
Yes. Peppers and cucumbers and strawberries. I am super pumped about my strawberries. I cannot wait for them to get here. We are going to have, okay, first of all, my Temptation strawberry plant that I grew from seed last year is absolutely loaded.
It looks cool.
And blossoms. Like, I am crazy pumped.
It's
And
got some nice
then
flowers on it.
yes, tons of them. And then, of course, I'm getting my strawberry starts from In My Gardener. And so we are going to have one bed of strawberries. And I cannot wait. I was telling them, I was like, strawberry jam, strawberry shortcake, frozen strawberries, fresh strawberries, strawberry syrup. I'm going to make all the strawberry things. I'm so excited.
Not if I eat them first. I love strawberries. I will eat them until I get sick.
Good.
And then I will eat them some more. I love strawberries.
We'll see about that.
Bandana Grandma says they have less than a quarter acre, but they have 12 dwarf fruit trees, 5 kinds of berries, 10 beds of veggies, lots of herbs and pollinator flowers. And we don't mow much.
Yeah.
Don't mow much grass.
That's
but yeah,
awesome.
they're using all the land they've got to produce as much as they can, and that is so awesome. That's very cool to hear.
Mandy's got a great tip. Biggest thing with container gardening is fertilize every other week. All the watering leaches out the nutrients otherwise kept within a garden bed, and that is absolutely true. And I think before we ever grew a garden, had our first raised bed, I tried a few times to grow tomatoes in pots, tomato plants, and they always died. They always, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That's what I was doing wrong is, first of all, I wasn't keeping them watered well, and I also was not feeding them, which is, very, very important when you grow in a pot.
So North Star has posted the link to Hollis and Nancy's Homestead for container gardening.
Yeah.
And I will also, another resource to go to is if you follow Arms Family Homestead, they have a guy in their area called Leon.
Yeah.
And is it Gardening with Leon? I think he owns a nursery, I think. But he does all kinds of container gardenings, container gardens. So I think it's Gardening with Leon. But I know if you watch Arms Family, you'll find Leon.
Yeah, Mandy said the rested garden is also good for gardening containers or in beds. Another thing too, like I was talking earlier about Art of Creation Homestead, doing their apple trees in containers, and then of course Bandana Grandma. I mean, there's so many things that you can do wherever you are. Don't let your location hinder you. And gardening, again, it's one of those things like with anything. You can make it as expensive as you want to, or you can do it as cheap as you want to. So yeah, there's a lot of great resources out there. And if you are on Facebook and you have a lot of Facebook friends, ask people, do you have seeds? Do you have 5-gallon buckets that you're not using? Do you have any topsoil that you have at your
Topsoil.
house? I mean,
Pallets.
yeah, pallets.
There's all kinds of
Lattice.
material
Yes.
that you might be able to have give to you that you could, repurpose for something.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing what people are willing to give away if they just want it off their property.
Yeah. M.I. Gardner has a container growing series. He's got several videos he's done on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of M.I. Gardner, he just roasted coffee beans
That he grew.
that he grew on his own coffee tree. When we were up there, we got to see his coffee tree. He'd been growing it for 6 years now, he
6
said?
years.
And he's produced so many beans now that he's able to roast a bunch of beans now and brew his own coffee.
How cool is that? And he's in
Michigan. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was neat.
Oh, yeah. Jennifer in Serenity Hill Farmstead said, look for barter groups. I get eggs, roving wool, compost, wood, all for seeds or started plants. Yeah. And that's Facebook Marketplace is another really great place to, people just post things for free or for very cheap. You just have to come and get it. Yeah, right, Jared? I know. It's like a coffee tray. And file crates lined with weed cloth. Yeah, I was telling him, I was like, how people grow vertically in pallets? I'd like to experiment with that. And what I've seen is people just take the weed barrier cloth and staple it to the inside. So you're kind of creating a trough. You just have to, plant things that don't have deep roots, just shallow root. That would be cool.
I've seen where most people are just doing like herbs and flowers in it. I haven't seen a whole lot of like vegetables growing in it or anything like that.
Yeah. No, we didn't get to try the coffee because when we were there, and this was a couple of years ago, so
this is what he's doing now.
Yeah.
He's just now. We saw the coffee tree. He said it had produced enough.
I think
he produced enough beans that year
For a
to
cup.
brew 1 cup of coffee, but it is now producing enough where he can roast his own beans.
Yeah. That's
and,
so neat.
and have coffee for a month or so.
That is self-sufficiency. For sure.
Yeah, something else. We were talking about using all the space we've got, and of course, we have 1 acre. Unfortunately, and most of that is just a big front yard going out to the main highway, but we decided to plow up and have our earth garden, so we're using a lot more of our backyard now. When the chickens move in, that will take up more space in our backyard. The rest of our backyard, we kind of have it set up with a fire pit and actually for cooking, but that's good family time too. So we're also using, part of our backyard is not producing much, but it's allowing us family time that we love sitting around that fire pit.
Yeah, we this time of year, we're like this weekend, we did not come inside except to sleep.
Right. Yeah,
And
we
to use
stayed
the
outside
bathroom.
most of the day.
We did.
Like I said, we finally had a week with no rain.
Yeah.
But it would get up to almost 70 during the day, but it would cool back off down into the 50s at night. It's been so great. We haven't had to run the heat or the air in 4 or 5 days, which has been awesome.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, I'm very excited though.
I wish it would actually stay like this
It will.
because when it starts getting really hot, I just kind of get miserable.
I prefer hot weather.
I don't prefer hot weather. I don't like cold weather. I like right now.
The older I get, the more I understand people that go to Florida in the winter.
Yeah, I like it about 60 degrees.
That's too cold.
No.
That's too cold.
No.
I like it about
Between 60 and 70. Today it got up almost to 80.
between
I was
73
miserable.
and 90.
I was miserable. I'm
73 and 90.
I'm a caveman. I like it cold. I like it cool.
For everything, we are in zone 6B. We're in zone 6B.
But with that being said, you can still grow a lot of things just because it's not your preferred zone. You can still grow it there. Maybe your growing season is shorter or longer, but I've heard some people talk about that. Just because it's a certain zone you live in, don't think that, oh, well, I'll never be able to grow so-and-so. Because I know people that have figured it out how.
Yes. George said the only reason why I suggest to be mindful of the seeds or plants is because I found out I bought seeds at HOA last year that produced 7-foot tall tomato plants.
Wow.
Wow. You know, I grew one year, this was like, what, 3 years ago maybe, I grew a yellow pear tomato plant. I had one plant, and I could not believe how prolific that thing was. I mean, that thing, it sprawled out, and I mean, I don't even know how much tomatoes I had on that thing. It was unbelievable.
Man, Amy just ordered $40 worth of seeds.
That is awesome.
So she's going to be planting a lot.
Yep.
Now make sure if you order seeds from M.I. Gardner, you use her discount code.
Yep.
It'll get you 10%
10% off. TCW10.
TCW10. You put that in the checkout, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think it says like either coupon code or some kind of code, and then you just type it in there, and then it'll take it off at checkout.
Yeah.
Let's see. Someone said, do we have any advice on growing pineapple in Minnesota? I hope you have a heated greenhouse. But I think that's the only way you're going to get it done. I think. I don't know anything about growing pineapples either.
That's not a question. That'd be a question for Luke for M.I. Gardner.
Oh, man.
He would either say nope, or he would say, okay, here's what you need to do.
For everything, no, we have not had chickens, but I will tell you that I have wanted.
We haven't had chickens since we were kids.
Well, yeah, since
we both grew up with chickens.
As a married couple, no, we have not had chickens, but I will tell you that I have waited 10 years. 10 years for chickens.
Maybe 11.
10 years for chickens. And I know the day that I finally get them, I might get emotional. I just might.
Won't. She probably will.
I was about to say, do you know me?
Yeah, she will. She definitely
Do
will.
you even know me? Oh, man.
Good. Sunny Blue Homestead used her TCW10 code.
Yay. Thank you.
It just helps you out. Get it even cheaper.
Yeah.
Get a discount.
Yep, and it is an affiliate code. So if you use it, I think I get 10% of what you spend. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So if somebody spends $10, I get $1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that helps us out.
It helps both parties out there.
Basically, I turn around and I buy more seeds.
Yeah, I was like, we don't get that back. She ends up buying more seeds.
I get more seeds, or I'll get some trifecta.
Trifecta.
It does help us out.
That trifecta is good stuff.
Yeah. Grew big sunflowers every year. Yes, and I know there's people still waiting on me for some sunflower seeds.
Don't be holding your breath.
No, don't hold your breath. I'm terrible.
Our hour is up, isn't it? It is.
Nope, we got 1 minute.
We got 1 minute.
1 minute, so make it good. What?
What's the matter? Daughter's
She's so
giving
weird.
us the weird look.
She's weird.
So
yes, I need to buy more trifecta too, but he is currently out.
Yeah.
Cecilia said, then you must be rich with all the orders I did. Let's see.
Well, that just means we're getting a whole lot of seeds probably, because you got a bunch of strawberry plants coming, right?
Yeah, I might have gotten a little more than what I told you.
What? You haven't told me you gotten any. I found out from other people. I found
What?
out.
I told you.
I found out from our pastor.
That what?
It was like, man, your wife has ordered a whole bunch of strawberry plants. I was like, she has?
Well,
but yeah.
I may have also gotten
I may have also got some others.
a couple of raspberry starts.
Are you serious? Raspberry?
And maybe a couple of thornless
Thornless, good.
blackberries.
Because if it's got thorns, they will not be going in the ground. Every house we've lived in that have had rose bushes out front.
Can I just tell y'all?
Or anything with thorns.
I do not like rose bushes.
I dig them up as quick as I can and get rid of them.
We are all about the low maintenance landscape.
I just don't like thorns. I don't like holes in my lawnmower tires.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my pet peeve.
So, yeah. We got blackberries and raspberries coming too.
Well, that'll feed the birds.
It best not.
They will get it. They will get it
Best
big.
not. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's something else, you know. We're always expanding. We're always improving how much we can grow.
Yep.
Guys, thank y'all so much for joining us this hour. We have loved connecting with you guys.
Yes.
We really do. I'll tell you what we normally do. After we do our Monday Night Live, we usually...
Go to bed.
Well, we usually shut everything down.
That's what I do.
And we finish maybe cleaning up just a little bit, putting everybody to bed. But when we go to bed, we usually pull this back up and kind of re-watch it and reread a bunch of the comments.
That is true.
We fall asleep. We end up watching it again here in about a half hour or so. So we enjoy our Monday nights, being able to connect with everybody.
Yes, we do.
Especially while everybody's going through this and everybody's kind of stuck and not being able to get out and socialize. This is good for us to do.
It is. And we do want to encourage everyone to take this time, if you are at home, to really, really think about how you can become more self-sufficient, how you can take care of your family. It's not a game. I know for a lot of people it seems like maybe it's a hobby. But I mean, as you can see, anything can happen where you find yourself needing to feed your family or sustain on what you have. And whether this is what we've been talking about for years.
But whether we think we're going through something in another year or two, whether we think something bad's coming, we want to grow our own food anyway, just because we want to eat good, healthy food that we get to produce ourselves.
Right. But I hope that with everything that has been going on, people understand that we are a very, very, very blessed nation, and it has not always been like this. No. We are very spoiled to think that we can go to the store at any time and get whatever we want, and there's a lot of countries it's not like that for them, and it could very easily be different for us. And I hope that with everything that's going on, people can see that's true. So as we always say, be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared.
Not necessarily in that order. Put God first, be prayerful. Pray for our friends out there that are struggling and going through some hard times. And so we hope everybody has a good week.
Yes, we do.
And we hope to be with you next Monday night.
Yep.
And throughout the week, posting more videos. And then also when we have a little bit of downtime, we love to get on YouTube and kind of binge watch other Homestead friends. So
yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hope everybody has a good week.
Yes. Stay safe.
Yeah.
And smart.
Be smart about it.
Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, be careful when you're out and about.
Like I tell our daughter, keep your head on a swivel.
Thanks, guys. See
night.
y'all.